Have you ever made an AI video that looked amazing in your head, but came out messy? The character changed. The action looked weak. The scene didn't feel cinematic. Most of the time, the problem is not the tool. It's the process. So in this video, I'll show you how I use Higgs Field Cinema Studio 3.5 to create an action cinematic scene set during a Chinese New Year festival. Instead of typing one huge prompt and hoping it works, I'll build it like a real movie scene. First the hero, then the enemy, then the location, then the important prop, and after that, I'll turn everything into short cinematic action clips. For this scene, the story is simple. A bodyguard is protecting a ceremonial jade seal during a crowded Chinese New Year celebration, but masked attackers try to steal it. Now let's build it step by step. By the way, I'm Alex, and if you want all my AI workflows, prompt packs, and tools like this, you can join our AI creator community. Links in the description. Let's dive in. I'll select character mode from the image section inside Cinema Studio. From here, I can choose the cast I want, almost like a real director. The difference is that I can fully customize the character exactly how I want. It gives me a lot of options like genre, archetype, and even outfit. So let's start with the first one, genre. This lets you define the exact style of your video. You can choose from film genres like action, comedy, drama, and even horror. For this character, I'll go with action. Next is budget, and I think this is one of the most interesting options here because it lets you set a production budget that influences the overall look and quality. Basically, it affects how polished or raw your video feels. You can choose anywhere from $10 million to $500 million. For my character, I'll go with $100 million, but I recommend testing different budget levels to see which one fits your project best. Now let's move to era, where I'll choose the 2020s. This lets you set the time period for the character and the overall mood of the video. Next, I'll go to the archetype section. With this character setting inside Higgsfield, you can define the role and personality of the character. There are many popular archetypes to choose from, and each one influences the character's energy and behavior. You'll find options like the innocent, the hero, and even the caregiver. Once the behavior side is set, we can move on to the physical side. The first option is identity, where you can choose the character's gender, race, and age. I'll set those for my character, then move into physical appearance, which is one of the most detailed sections. Here I can choose things like build, height, and eye color. After that, I'll do the same for the hair options to create a more specific look. So let's go into the details section. Here, you can add things like a facial scar, freckles, or a tattoo. For this character, I'll use the tattoo option to add an extra detail and make her look more distinctive. Now I'll dress her in a dark black formal suit with subtle traditional Chinese-inspired details. Then click Generate. And here's the character we get back. Honestly, it looks extremely realistic. The skin texture looks right, the details are in place, and there's really nothing obvious I would change. Another great thing is that it's very cheap to generate, while something like Nano Banana Pro costs 4 credits per generation. That means you can test a lot more options without burning through your credits too quickly. With this method, you also don't have to worry as much about character inconsistencies anymore. So now I'll use the exact same process to create the other character. Next, I need the location. I'll go back to Image, then I'll click Location. This is where I'll create the environment for the scene. For this video, I want a Chinese New Year street festival at night. I want red lanterns, lion dance performers, fireworks, red and gold decorations, food stalls, and a busy crowd. I'll paste the full location prompt here. You can see the full prompt on screen, and I'll put the complete prompt in the link below. Then I'll click Generate. Once the location images appear, I'll choose the one with the strongest cinematic mood. I'm looking for good lighting, clear red lanterns, festival energy, and enough space for action. Then I'll save this as my festival location. This location matters because it gives the scene identity. If I only say action scene at night, that is too generic. But when I use a Chinese New Year festival with red lanterns, fireworks, performers, and a crowd, the scene already feels cinematic before the action even starts. The location is not just a background. It controls the mood, the color, the movement, and the overall feeling of the video. Now I need the key prop for the story, the ceremonial jade seal. Since this scene takes place during a Chinese New Year festival, I want the prop to match the setting. So the jade seal should feel traditional, valuable, and easy to recognize, placed inside a red silk box that fits the festival atmosphere. I'll stay inside image. I'll paste the prop prompt, click generate, then choose the result that looks the most premium and clear. After that, I'll save it as my prop reference. This is important because the prop gives the action a purpose. The bodyguard is not just running for no reason, he is protecting something valuable. After that, I'll save it as my prop reference. This is important because the prop gives the action a purpose. The bodyguard is not just running for no reason, he is protecting something valuable. Now I have all the main elements ready: the bodyguard, the masked attackers, the Chinese New Year festival setting, and the jade seal in the red silk box. Next, I'll move to video and choose Cinema Studio 3.5. For the video settings, I'll choose action for the genre, cinematic or auto for the style, auto for camera movement, around 8 seconds for duration, and the highest resolution available, like 1080p or 720p. Then I'll create the video one scene at a time. Before generating the first scene, I'll add my references: the bodyguard, the Chinese New Year festival location, and the jade seal prop. This way, the AI understands the character, the setting, and the object at the center of the story, which helps keep the video consistent. Now that I have my clips, I'll export the best versions and open CapCut. I'll create a new project, import all the Higgsfield clips, and place them in order. Scene 1. The bodyguard walks through the festival. Scene 2. The attackers appear. Scene 3. The chase begins. Scene 4. The fight happens. Scene 5. The bodyguard escapes. Then I'll trim the awkward parts, remove dead space, and tighten the pacing. After that, I'll add sound effects like crowd noise, fireworks, footsteps, impacts, and whooshes. Then add cinematic music for tension. This step is important because AI gives you the raw clips, but editing makes it feel like a real video. So if your AI videos have been looking messy, don't just change the prompt, change the process. Build the scene first, then generate the video. And of course, make sure you're using the right tool for the job. For this workflow, I used Higgs Field Cinema Studio 3.5 because it helps me create the character, location, props, and cinematic scenes in a more organized way. If you want to create better AI videos, don't just rely on random prompts. Use the right tool, build with a clear process, and direct your scenes step by step. If this video helped, subscribe for more AI video tutorials. And if you want more tips, prompts, workflows, and support from other creators, join our community. The link is in the description. Comment your action movie idea below, and I'll help you break it down into the character, location, props, and scenes you need before generating. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more exciting updates.